Good morning, and welcome to the September 29th edition of Marquette in Motion. We're your hosts, Miranda Peters
and Hallie Kilberg. On this date in history, back in 1915, the first transcontinental radio message was sent.
And now, in 2018, we have for you another important radio message, Marquette in Motion, all the way from the recording studio at Marquette to your KMAQ-tuned radio.
And what's today's message? To begin, Miranda and I will be discussing the elementary moves and room makeovers that occurred over the summer. We'll also be interviewing some people who got to experience the moves firsthand.
Then, in segment 2, Justina will be here with the first ever club at Marquette.
The guys will then be here discussing all of Marquette's sports results.
In segment 3, Luke Keys will be interviewing Mr. Chris Meetinger, the guy who, when a Chromebook needs to be fixed, has all the answers.
And what's all happening next week at Marquette, you may ask? Well, Amy and Macy have all the answers to that.
And now let's answer some burning questions you may have about the elementary. It's time for some speed round facts about all that happened over the summer.
Last school year, it was realized that Marquette's 4-year-old preschool class in the fall of 2018 would be comprised of 29 or 30 students, too many for one section. Based on a survey, parents, when considering the education of their soon-to-be kindergartners, also were greatly in favor of a preschool program that convened 5 days a week.
In order to accommodate all the students and still provide a program that would meet 5 days a week, both a morning and afternoon section of 4-year-old preschool were needed.
Mrs. Jessica Meetinger, who previously taught 3rd grade but also holds a degree in early childhood education, enthusiastically took on the role of 4-year-old preschool teacher. Mrs. Teresa Schwager continues to teach Marquette's 3-year-old preschool students.
With this preschool expansion, 2 classrooms, as opposed to 1, were needed to house the preschool. And with Marquette's growing daycare program, another room was needed for that endeavor as well. How did the rooms relocate?
The 4-year-old and 3-year-old preschool classes moved into what used to be Mrs. Kilberg's and Miss Kiefer's rooms.
The old preschool room is now used as a daycare room.
The kindergarten and 1st grade classrooms moved into the old 5th grade room and old reading room, respectively.
The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade rooms remain where they all were last year.
So what about the reading room and the 5th grade rooms? Well, they went down to the basement.
The reading room is now where the old music room used to be, as all classes, K through 12, go to the renovated high school choir room.
And the 5th grade room is now right across the hall from the reading room, in what used to be a storage room.
The preschool and K through 5 teachers and staff of Marquette, along with some parent volunteers, worked tirelessly over the summer to make the room swapping such a success. And if you had the chance to come to the open house 2 weeks ago, you were able to see the relocated classrooms and notice how clean and beautiful each newly painted classroom truly looks.
Although the elementary is quite a bit different than when I was in grade school, it's so exciting to know that the next generation of Marquette students will get to experience a newly decorated elementary along with an entirely new high school.
We're joined here today with some of the 1st grade students to share their thoughts on the move.
Here with us are 1st graders Keegan Tyson and Elena Tracy.
Hi Keegan, hi Elena. How do you guys feel about the 1st grade and kindergarten rooms now being upstairs?
Happy. Happy because we get to walk downstairs. And I like walking down the stairs because I like sliding on the railings a little bit.
What I like about it is we get a new classroom and it's a lot more interesting.
What do you like most about the move?
We got better toys up here in our classroom. Desks had opened up.
What are you most excited for this upcoming year?
To learn about more harder reading.
To have fun and to learn really well.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be very exciting. Thanks, kids. And if you missed any part of the interviews or you just want to listen to the show again, it is always posted on the Marquette website, marquettecatholic.com.
And while you're at it, follow us on Facebook too.
Well, we hope you've liked our show so far because we've got plenty more for you. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Marquette in Motion right after the break. Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Here now is Justina Denlinger informing you on Marquette's newest club.
Thanks, Hallie. Yes, Marquette Catholic has a new club this year, which is being called the Marquette Makers. The club is under the direction of Lexi Stickrod, our Spanish teacher. In this club, students are able to use various materials to make all sorts of crafts. Thus far in September, Marquette Makers members have made decorative magnets, while in October they will be making earbud holders. There are also rumors that another new club will be starting possibly in November, that being called the Star Wars Club. That club would be overseen by our English teacher, Andrew Bishop, and students would take part in a variety of activities that are Star Wars themed. The Games Club, also directed by Andrew Bishop, will be back this year and will have their first meeting mid-October. In this club, students can learn about and play all sorts of different games. Don't leave the game just yet! Marquette in Motion will be back after these messages.
Thanks, Justina. Up next are the guys with the sports report.
Thanks, girls. This week in sports, we'll begin with Marquette's own Tori Mickle, who competes with Wahlert High School for swimming. At Tori's most recent meet, she continued to impress and place first in both her individual events, the 100-yard freestyle and the 100-yard backstroke.
Tori coupled with first-place finishes in both her relay events as well. Tori and her team won the 200 medley and the 400 freestyle. Tori has another meet taking place today in Cedar Falls and will compete at Wallert's home next Tuesday, October 2nd.
On the cross-country front, the teams traveled to North Cedar Monday. Here, Hallie placed first and led the girls' team to a second-place finish.
Due to injuries, the boys did not have a full team. However, of those who did run, Parker Mueller led the way, finishing 31st individually.
Thursday, September 27th, marked the West Dubuque cross-country meet. Here, Hallie Kilberg led the girls' team, finishing 10th individually. Jeb Schwager is back from an ankle injury and led the boys' team.
For volleyball, the girls traveled to Lisbon Tuesday evening, September 25th. Here, the Marquette girls put up a tremendous effort but could not come out with a victory.
Thursday evening, the girls turned around to take on Makokata at home. Despite fantastic battles, the Marquette team was not able to come out with any wins against the 3A Cardinals. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Jeb Schwager
And Garrett Krieg
with your Marquette Sports Report.
Thanks, guys. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Marquette in Motion right after the break.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Here now is Luke Keys interviewing Mr. Chris Meeninger.
Hello, listeners. Thank you for joining me again on this portion of the show that we call Meet Marquette. Today I'll be interviewing another one of our Marquette family members. This week's guest is Mr. Chris Meeninger. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Meeninger.
Thank you, Luke.
So tell us what your job entails and what a typical day looks like for you here at Marquette.
My job entails fixing almost anything with a wire. That's kind of my joke here at school and what some people have told me. If it has a wire on it, I have to fix it. If it has something to do with technology, I either have to know how to run it or how to fix it. That spans anything from this recording studio to Chromebooks to teachers' laptops to just fixed our sign out front that had some issues going on. So kind of everything and anything.
So a busy man for sure.
Yes.
What kind of technology do our students have access to and use at Marquette?
We have quite the variety of technology here at school, ranging from iPads, which any students from preschool on up to 12th grade can access. Starting in second grade now, we actually have one-to-one Chromebooks from second grade through 12th grade. That's made possible by, to put it simply, by recycling the graduated seniors' Chromebooks down into the elementary. That's possible. The second graders love their Chromebooks this year. This is the first year that they get to use them. On top of that, the elementary teachers have smart boards that they use. Actually, we were able to just purchase three new ones with our Magic of Children money from this last year. Along with that, we have this recording studio, which is pretty top-notch, very advanced. You name it, we have a little bit of everything available for everybody.
I can definitely say that technology here at Marquette has definitely come a long way, because I remember being in second grade, we had just gotten the smart boards. And that was big here. We could go up to it and touch it, use it. It was pretty interactive. But now we have personalized computers and everything like that. So it's definitely very interesting to see how far technology has come here at Marquette.
And how quickly it's advanced.
For sure. So speaking about technologies that have come up recently, do we have any new technology this year?
Yes, what I had mentioned before about the new smart boards, we were able to get those with Magic of Children money. So we were able to replace 3 of our older smart boards. And even though we're replacing a smart board with a smart board, the way that technology has advanced in the last 10 years is astounding. The user interface is slightly different, so those teachers had to learn how to interact with their new smart boards. In high school, some of the new technologies we have are just some of the apps that we try and use either on our Chromebooks or on the iPads. Really, when it comes to our technology, some of the most advances that we've made just since I've taken over technology have been in the advancements of our Chromebooks. Yeah. From the silver Samsungs that we had 5 years ago, or we purchased new 5 years ago, to the new touchscreen Chromebooks that we have this year, along with the cranium covers on the top. Really, that's kind of where we're trying to get the advancement, is just put it in the students' hands.
Do you have any tips for our listeners about using technology or maintaining it? To anyone at large out there?
That is a very loaded question. The best advice I can give is to be patient. I get blamed for this as well, along with some of our teachers, and I know our students. We tend to be impatient. We want things now. With technology, there sometimes are quirks. Sometimes it doesn't want to work now. Sometimes there's updates. Yes, sometimes updates take 2 hours, unfortunately. My number one helpful tip that I always give our teachers is that restart. Shut down.
As you describe with your job, you obviously spend a lot of time with technology. What else do you like to do in your free time when you're not working with technology here at school?
My free time is mostly filled up with family time.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I switched from music education to technology is that my job tends to stay at school when I leave school, where most teachers would tell you that there's grading papers, there's grading tests, there's looking up new units, all that stuff. When I go home, I can spend time with my family, with my kids. I can go outside and play when it's nice out, and just spend time with family. The second major time consumption of myself is still music, though. Just music outside of school, whether it be playing with my band or running sound for other bands or DJing. Music still plays a very major part in my life. Yep.
Thank you for joining us for this week's portion of Meet Marquette. Until next time, this is your host, Luke Keys, signing off.
Thanks, Luke. And now, to round out the show by looking ahead, here are Macy and Amy.
On Monday, we have our home cross-country meet at the Bellevue Golf Course starting at 4:15.
Tuesday, October 2nd, there is a home junior high volleyball game starting at 4, and directly after that in the MEC, our freshman, JV, and varsity volleyball teams play starting at 5:15.
On Thursday, there is a home junior high volleyball game beginning at 4 and a freshman JV varsity volleyball game at Cal Wheat starting at 5:15.
And finally, on Saturday morning, the cross-country team will head out to North Lynn and run beginning at 9 a.m.
For Looking Ahead, this has been Amy Sieverding
and Macy Kramer
for Marquette in Motion.
Thanks, girls. And now, just like September's ending, sadly, so is this show.
For Marquette in Motion, this has been Miranda Peters
and Hallie Kilberg.
And remember, stay informed, stay involved, stay
in motion.